verse 4, but when Jesus heard it, he said, this illness does not lead to death. It is for the glory of God, so the Son of God may be glorified through it. Okay, so he's just saying, okay, now Jesus, he's not going to die, okay? This illness is not to lead to death, right? It is for the glory of God. When they ask concerning the blind man, so the works of God might be shown through him. So in this case as well, he's sick, yes, and he's going to die actually. Does that then mean Jesus was wrong? No, because he rose him from the dead. Okay, so he died, but he didn't die ultimately. What, 4 days? Yes, sure, he's going to die again, but that not because of that illness specifically. So this is just an intermediary death, which is not a long-term death. Okay, so this is not just, oh, but Jesus lied, or Jesus didn't know the truth, because actually he did lie. He did die. Yeah, so I mean that's such a wordplay ultimately. I explained, it's simple. He did die, yes, but Jesus did not mean that. He didn't mean just in 2 days or 4 days he's dead and that's that. He knew he's going to raise him from the dead. So for that illness is not going to lead to a permanent death, just a temporary death ultimately. And yes, he will die later on from another illness of old age or whatever. We don't know from what he died. So it's for the glory of God, and the Son might be glorified through it. So like with a blind man, you can ask, how the heck is that even a good thing, God, that you kill someone, or you make someone born blind, and then you let someone die here just so that people can glorify you, so that your works can shine through something? Can't you find a different way? God is God, we all belong to him. He can do with us whatever he wants to. And ultimately what is more important is eternity and not the temporal thing, because Lazarus died and is going to rise again, but then he's going to die again. That final resurrection, which is the second coming, that is the most important resurrection. So whatever happens up till then is actually, if it aids us in, or it aids other people in seeing the truth, then so be it, and that's a great thing. Because that is the most important thing ultimately. It's not to have all the best time here and no sickness or anything like this, no struggles here, but it is what is really truly important. That is the question. Verse 5. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. See here, they sent the message concerning the one whom you love is sick, right? And now it's states in this verse that Jesus loved not only him, but loved Martha and Mary as well, and Lazarus. So all three, he loved all three of them. Okay, so that is just as well, back to that point, was Lazarus the beloved disciple? With this verse, again, I feel it totally disproves that point. Why? Because here John immediately makes sure that we understand that Jesus didn't only love Lazarus. So for those who might think that Lazarus is a beloved disciple, John makes sure that immediately here Jesus states that he did love him and him. Her and him. Okay, so and the two of them the two women, Martha and Mary in the first place, and then only Lazarus. So that is, again, Jesus makes sure that they understand that, and John is making sure they understand that this is not ultimately Lazarus is going to be the beloved disciple, because he loved others as well. So with that same kind of logic, you need to say, but the beloved disciple is Mary, or the beloved disciple is Martha. It can be any of the three then. In fact, of man is none of the three. Okay. Now, why is it important as well? It states that not only for that reason, but as well for the reason that for the same kind of how we can think. But oh man, how can Jesus say he loves him if he allows him to die? Jesus loves him and he loves them, but he's going to put them through a ringer. They're going to let them for 4 days mourn their brother. How can you say you love someone if you allow for that? Right? I've spoken a number of times concerning this. Right? If here we are now on a boat. Okay, so if I see someone now climb up that rooftop and he wants to jump off, in that sense commit suicide or something, because his life is so horrible. He's got cancer, and say for example he's got cancer and he just doesn't want to live anymore, and he's been struggling with it so long, and so he gets onto there and he wants to jump off. Is it loving of me to just stand here and say, oh great, jump? Okay, what would you do? I mean, I would sure try and go up to the guy or go whoever with the person with that problem and try and explain. Okay, now in this case I would not be able to help because I speak Bahasa, And my bahasa is like terima kasih and sama-sama, whatever, and it's like I think a few selamat datang, and there's a few nasi ayam, and there's a few words there and there that can kind of throw out selamat bugi. So there's a few words you can know, but that's not going to help to chat with someone who has cancer and wants to jump from the roof of this pretty high ferry here, right? It's not going to help. So yeah, someone else here need to. But I mean, I will try to get someone to come and help him and to explain, to listen to the person and to hear what is going on and what is his reasons, etc. So you will try, and then if a person doesn't jump, then he still has that sickness and he will still suffer a lot because of that sickness. So is it then not better for you to let him jump? Now I know a lot of people on the liberal side would say yes, it is better for him to jump. Because euthanasia is now allowed in so many countries, Western countries that is, already. And but I mean, even then, in that certain sense, that I'm against euthanasia. But even then, in that certain sense, you already, I mean, they are only allowed when you're like totally on the end of kind of, and there's no more hope and no nothing, and the pain is just overwhelming. So is it the right thing? No, I think yes, it's the right thing to go and try and help that person. But then that person is still stuck with the illness. I don't think the loving thing is going to be stand there and push him over the side kind of idea. Okay, so I just want to, with that, say that example, just explain why allowing someone to suffer does not mean you don't love the person. It actually means that you might, or that you do love the person if you know what is the outcome of that. Okay. And in Jesus' case, clearly he knew the outcome. He knew the outcome, yes, it's going to be tough for them, right? But for 4 days after that, they will bring, and they will see so much more. They will learn so much more. And through this, so many more people will believe, and it will lead to his death. Just remember, him raising Lazarus from the dead is ultimately going to lead to the death of Jesus. So you could have said, oh, no, I can just let him die and let him stay there, because then I'm free, I'm not going to die. So if I'm helping him, right, and ultimately bring him back from the dead, then I'm going to die as well. So is that a good idea? And just remember as well, anyhow, Jesus would not have made it in time, because he was dead for 4 days. Jesus only tarried for 2 days. We will see it now, and he was dead for 4 days.